So the third school I went to, I was subbing for an art teacher, and she taught grades from kindergarten to, I believe it was fifth grade. And boy, let me tell you, that was the grade I really didn't want to have to deal with. But I took on the challenge anyway, and I walked into the school, and the actual classroom was kind of like in the lower level, almost like basement like, but it's like one of those classrooms where the window was right there at ground level, so when people walk by, you can see people walking by, as far as like the bottom portion of their torso or their bottom portion of their body. And so I'm in the classroom, and I'm just waiting for these students to come in. And this school was pretty regimented, and so the teacher would march the children in. Before that, I got a call on the phone from the teacher, because I looked around the classroom and in the drawers and stuff, and I didn't see anything to do. Only thing I saw was this thing on the board. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It was like this, they were parallelograms. I think that's what it's called. And it was like 8 of them on the board, drawn on the board. And I'm like, okay, so, what do I do? And when I get this call, it was the teacher. And she wanted to inform me that the principal had all the work to do for the classes, or all the materials, I should say, that I was supposed to give to the class. And so when he finally came in, kind of like just minutes before my first class, and he just gave me everything, and then it made sense what they were supposed to do, right? And so I was cool. I was like, cool. So when this first class walked in, with their teacher, because I guess they escorted every class. The teacher escorted every class into the room. They were all in line and everything, and quiet, right? And so I thought, wow, well, okay, cool. So they sat down. The teacher was standing there. They were quiet. But boy, let me tell you, as soon as that teacher left out of the classroom, those students went berserk. I shouldn't say as soon. They mellowed out a little bit once they found out who I was. But it didn't take long for them to just get loose, because they got loose. And so I kind of kept a little order, gave them the assignment they were to do. It was an art class, so this was my third assignment, so I wasn't really tripping, and the room was kind of secluded in the building. It was kind of like the bottom right half of the building, like toward the front, and so it was very, very tucked away. And so I let them talk and do whatever they did, and they, of course, they made a mess because they had to cut out these parallelograms and they had to do all this stuff. And it was just funny just to hear them interact. And I'm tall, so the first thing that every student always says, "Man, you're tall," and they want to know how tall I am and want to know if I have children. And so it was fun just talking to them and just seeing them interact and seeing them finish off the assignments. And I was like, I thought that every child knew how to use scissors, right? I thought every child knew how to cut out and use scissors. But apparently I am wrong, because the way these children were cutting out these shapes, I was like, you're not going to be able to complete the assignment, because these lines they're not lining up. You're not cutting on the line to make these intricate shapes of these parallelograms. And I was like, I just let them do it. When somebody came, somebody asked me for help, and when I got to the desk, I'm like, how am I supposed to, because it's like chipped up and chopped up. I'm like, how am I supposed to use this? And to use it to help you. I can't help you with this. So I gave him another sheet of paper. Okay, cut that. And boy, it wasn't any better. And that happened throughout all the grades. I understood kind of for the kindergartens, but a lot of them they did well. Kindergartens and first grades, they did well. But when I started getting up to third and fourth graders, and they couldn't stay on the line to cut the thing out, man, I was like, this is interesting. But anyway, so that was the first class that came in. Second class came in, same thing, same regimen. March them in, sit down, quiet for a minute, get loose, right? Same questions. Man, you're tall, blah, 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 you know. And yeah, so it was fun. It was just fun watching them and interacting with them and answering all the questions. So, and this school was on the west side of Chicago, and so I got to see a little bit of what that area looks like. I mean, the west side of Chicago has a lot of businesses, a lot of industrial type spaces, and this school was kind of in that area, and so it wasn't a neighborhoody type school, and so it was like businesses and factories and things around it, and so the school was kind of nestled in all of that. But it was cool to see the area. It was interesting to see the students interact and different even from the first time I substituted at the class, that the building that was actually brand new, and it was amidst like basically a gentrifying. The area is being gentrified from that first school, but this school was interesting. It was interesting. So yeah, so that was kind of my third experience with being a substitute teacher as an art teacher for the first time. So.